This regular scheduled meeting for May the 8th, 2023. We'll start with a word of prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we give others who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
We pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have approval of the agenda. Do we have any additions or deletions? If not, need a motion to approve it.
I approve.
Need a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Approval of minutes. Everyone get a chance to read them, look over them? Any questions, comments? If y'all want to, we'll just go ahead and approve them all at one time for 4/10 of 2023, 4/14, 2023, 4/24, 2023. So we need a motion to approve.
That's the same, because I wasn't here.
I'll make a motion.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Mr. Cox, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried on the minutes. Approval of financial reports. Everyone get a chance to look at them. Any questions, comments? If not, we need a motion to approve them.
I approve.
We have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Appearances. Aspire, Ms. Donna Glass.
We're here on behalf of Dana.
Ma'am,
We're here on behalf of Dana.
okay, you wanna come up here and talk to us, or you do it now?
All right. I'm Haley Reichard. I am Aspire's Western Counties Coordinator, and I have Daniel Florian here with me.
I'm the Chief Operations Officer for Aspire Behavioral Health.
And we are here tonight because May is Mental Health Month. And while mental health is important all year long, in May we focus special attention to raise awareness of mental health and to inform everyone about the mental health resources and benefits in Miller County. And because unfortunately there's still a stigma and a misunderstanding around mental health. So we hope to dispel some of the myths around mental health conditions and encourage all individuals needing support and help to seek the help that they need. So for example, the National Alliance for Mental Illness, which is known as NAMI, they put out some statistics that say 1 in 5 adults will experience a mental illness. 1 in 20 adults will experience a serious mental health illness. And then 17% of children between the ages of 6 and 17 will experience a mental health disorder. And 50% of all lifetime mental illness begins by age 14, and then 75% of it will appear by the age of 24. So Aspire Behavioral Health and Developmental Disability Services is the safety net provider for Miller County. And we're a community service board that serves children and adults with behavioral health or addictive disease disorders, and we also serve individuals with intellectual disabilities. So our agency serves individuals who are underserved or who have no means to pay for services. So Daniel has some statistics for us.
And so we provide a complete continuum of care. And we started at age 6 and then go up to any age whatsoever. And that ranges from anything from a very acute services with our crisis stabilization unit, which is a 24/7 receiving and evaluating facility, up to more like a traditional outpatient service where someone can just come in, see a counselor, see a doctor, and have those services rendered. So we serve a 17-county area with 8 primary counties, with Miller being one of those counties. Year to date, we have served 175 residents And of course, our fiscal year ends in June, so we expect that to possibly climb. 38 of those have been school-based services, so we do have a presence in the local schools. And we do currently have 3 employees residing in Miller County, and 2 medical staff that reside here in Miller County. So we bring in about $100,000 a year in payroll, for those folks. And also wanted to talk about, being Mental Health Month, 988 has just rolled out, and that's kind of like the mental health version of 911. So if anybody is experiencing any kind of mental health issue, mental health crisis, they can call that 988 number and be able to be connected directly to a licensed counselor. And if need be, mobile crisis can be called in, and they can come out and actually do an evaluation in the field. And then if a higher level of care is needed from there, we can figure that out and get transportation and all that good stuff. So, really, we just want to thank y'all for continuing to be a wonderful partner, and we hope to continue to be a good partner with you guys. As a person in long-term recovery, I know how important it is to have those services available, and we are just super grateful that y'all continue to allow us to operate here in Miller County.
We hope to continue to grow in Miller.
Wonderful. Thank y'all.
Thank y'all. Y'all got any questions or comments?
I think y'all have offer a great service.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for coming.
Thank y'all.
This probably is the proclamation on the agenda?
No, we'll do it. I remember doing it last year.
Yeah.
Okay. When
Yeah.
You can go ahead and do it now. Sure. You got it. I mean, I wasn't sent one now, but we passed it last year.
Okay.
So, I didn't know Dana didn't send me another one passed this year, but we did pass it last year.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all.
What are you talking about passing, Doug?
The proclamation that says this is Mental Health Month for Miller County, we did that last year.
Do we need one copy of it, or you just do it?
You probably don't need to do it every year if we've done it.
They do like it.
Okay, so one was not sent to me. If you'll get it sent to me, we'll get it taken care of.
Thank you.
It's a done deal. It's a done deal.
Yeah.
Old business, fueling center report, pages 44 through 45. How's everything going down there, Doug?
So the hospital finally did come on. If you look, they haven't used that much, but we did finally get them on. Everything's going smooth. We hadn't had any issues mechanically or not, so we'll kind of see how they are, and probably next month I'll give y'all a better report. But as of right now, everything's going smooth.
Any questions, comments? All right, next is motor grader lease, sales, appearance by John Deere and Cat, pages 46 through 55.
Yeah, so what this is where Jeff had asked to have both of them in the room and just kind of answer any of y'all's questions as far as the lease program or the machine. If y'all got any problems, questions with their machines, just kind of ask them and let them be here to answer y'all's questions.
And you got any comments you want to make on this?
Now, I pretty much voiced my opinion already. It's all up to y'all.
Well, I'm gonna say this, that when we bought the John Deere, we were promised a machine to use until the new one come in, and we never got one.
Yes, sir, that's great. And when I told y'all I would, and last year, across the world, everybody was impacted by component delays. And I'm not making an excuse, that was out of our control. And I didn't have a motivator to go on y'all, and I said I would if I had something, and I didn't have anything. So, unfortunately, I didn't have anything, and I couldn't, I didn't have anything to bring you, but the machine got delayed. So I think it was two and a half, 3 months after when it was supposed to be in. If I may, I got something I'd like to share with y'all. Just hang this. I, watched the last couple meetings and, there were some remarks made that Andy, and I quote, had to say, he said, "I'd rather stay with a cat. Don't nobody want to drive a John Deere." I did some, comparison in the counties that I have here that I'm responsible for. As you can see, I've listed out each county, the number of John Deere motor graders they have and the number of Caterpillar motor graders they have. And I have all the road superintendents, their name and their contact information. And y'all are welcome to call and talk to any of them about their John Deere machines. There's 19, in my territory I'm responsible for, there are 19 John Deere motor graders and 6 Cat graders right now. As far as our service department and our service that we've given, I have documentation in there. There was a comment made that machine can be running for 2 to 3 days or one sit for 2 to 3 weeks, and that makes a big difference. The only time we have been to that motor grader, there was a leak, motor grader that y'all bought, there was a leak on the cylinder on the Rome Sloper, not the John Deere machine itself. I have documentation here for you to follow on with. There's an email with all the emails back and forth from my service department. And there's also a bill that, for us to repair the cylinder was $2,200, but as I stated when I sold y'all that motor grader, y'all wouldn't get a bill for anything in warranty repairs. So Miller County didn't get a bill for that, but we were contacted on March 2nd about the failure. And all this is in the emails documented there. We sent a guy out, or a road tech the next day, he ordered the cylinder packing kit. It was down from March 2nd to March, we got it back running on March 8th. We ordered the cylinder packing kit from Rome, and it came in on the 7th, March 7th, and we had it going the next day. So unless there's another service call I'm not aware of, we were called on the 2nd, and we responded, came to it on the 3rd. So I feel like that's a pretty timely response. We get a call to go to somebody's machine, we try to be there within 24 hours. And to me, it looks like we made that happen here. Had to wait on the packing kit, but in 2 of those days it was down was a Saturday and Sunday, so that wasn't even part of the work day. But and just so you all understand, there was a comment made about it. I quote, they're in a transition, but maybe they'll get things straightened out. We transitioned from Flint equipment to Dobbs equipment on October 1st, 2022, and that transition is complete. And as you can see, I could sit here and go on it for an hour and waste y'all's time about how I believe in my machine, but 19 motor graders out running my territory pretty much speaks for itself.
What kind of time limit we looking at on getting a new machine if we go?
I've got some machines ordered that the middle of the end of September, they'll be here. I think September, it's in the quote, Mr. Worsley, I think, and the quote's in that paperwork I gave y'all, but it says, here it is, new motor grader can be quote is delivered on before 9/25/23. So around the end of September.
Have y'all got a machine that we possibly could use?
I can't answer that right now, but I can check and give y'all an answer back and let you know. If I do have a machine, I would try to work something. I don't know if I can totally run it to you for 4 months, but I can see what I can work out and let y'all know, give you an answer.
Okay, any questions, comments?
Right here where it says something about 60 months, 7,500 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at so much I can't remember.
It might be, I might can go through my quote and find it quicker for you.
Right. So.
Yes.
So that's.
Yeah, that's the 60 month. Y'all are doing a 5-year lease of 1,500 hours a year. So that's 7,500 hours total. So that just shows, that's just a description of the machine to show that it's covered for 7,500 hours. It has full
How
warranty.
many hours we usually put on one in that time?
That's in our range right there.
Right here, this one says.
That's what that was the last one that y'all did.
So this machine that says 5268, that's what we got on that machine that we want to get rid of is.
Yeah, I think the other was right on borderline, so we stepped up to like 7,000 hours or something like that.
I just know if you get, and Daniel will tell you the same thing, if you get close on your hours on a lease and you do like a 6,000 hour lease and you run a little bit over, it can get up to like $100 an hour that they'll charge you per hour for going over the lease. So most counties are doing 7,500, and if you're a little bit under that, then you're covered. So, anyway.
Any more
I'll be glad to
questions,
answer
comments?
if anybody's got any questions. I'll be glad to try to answer them for you. Otherwise, I'll sit down.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Next.
Hey guys, how are y'all doing?
All right.
Hi.
Good. So with the cap machine, of course, the reason there's only 6 running in his area is because we're a higher price tractor. I mean, our service and product is a higher price tractor, so we don't always win low bid. I mean, that's the name of the game. That's what we have to do. So, but we will provide you guys with a loaner tractor until your new machine comes in, which I think is somewhere around August, September timeframe. Is what we would do for you guys to make up the difference on it. It would not be the tractor you just had because it was a lease machine and it was returned. So we would provide you with one of our tractors that we have that's in our rental fleet.
Be any charge for using it?
No, sir.
So I'm looking right here, this is a warranty on the old machine,
Yes.
and this is what it would be every 1,000 hours.
So this would be a 12-month, 1,000 hour. That's what it is.
Mhm.
24 months, 2,000 hours. That's what it is.
This is on the used machine that we
That's
bought?
on the used tractor. Yes, sir.
So this would be if we bought our old machine back, or?
Yes.
And this would be what it would cost to put warranty on it?
Yes. And I would have to find out if that's still an option because the lease is already
Right,
over.
I got you.
What does that warranty cover?
Is it powertrain and hydraulic?
Powertrain and hydraulic?
Yeah, powertrain and
Powertrain.
hydraulics. It would not
Powertrain
cover, it would not cover, travel time and mileage to start with. It would not cover anything electrical, any air conditioning type work, that kind of stuff. But it would cover your major components on the machine.
So your computer type system will not be covered?
No, sir.
How quick can y'all get us a loaner if we go with y'all?
Probably within a week, 2 weeks at the most.
Explain to us about the buyback.
So the buyback is a guaranteed number that we give you at the beginning of the contract. And what we do is at the end of the contract, it's basically a balloon lease is what it is. We're just paying off your balloon note that you have with the finance company. We give you the balloon money to pay for it, and we take possession of the tractor. That's how the buyback works. The lease is, instead of Yancey Brothers having the balloon at the end where we own the tractor, Cat Finance has it at the end, and you just turn it back in. You just walk away from it. That's the only difference.
Any questions, comments?
Are you good?
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
So now we prepared to go ahead and make a decision.
I'll talk about it again.
The lease payment fee, are they gonna be neck and neck? How we stand on them?
Well, the new lease was gonna be way over what, we talked about that last meeting, like double.
Yes.
But I'm talking about machine versus machine. Is it neck and neck?
I think the monthly payment was neck and neck. One was over the whole loan, one was less than.
Y'all
that.
had a question about that.
Yeah.
About
Nancy said
$160.
They can match
The monthly.
the monthly, but then you had a question,
Nikki
Nikki,
said-
about where's that extra money? Even though you match it, where's that money at the end, the extra machine money?
Right.
I don't know if you wanna ask about that.
So basically what we're doing, we would just try to match his payment is what we would do. And all that's gonna depend on the interest rate at the time that the deal is done, when it's financed, when the docs are signed. But we're gonna do our part to get the payments where they're supposed to be.
Okay.
So there's no extra money to go to the purchase price of the tractor. We're buying down the interest rate to make the lease numbers where they're supposed to be.
That's the number you're talking about? That number? And what is the other number?
So we need to look at this.
Think it was the overall price.
Overall
Yeah, the
price
overall
of the
price.
two.
I would say we need to because we got to go ahead and get something going. And then you're gonna, if you don't, if you're careful, you're gonna run out of your time on your quotes here, and then it's gonna be back to square one again, you having to
Mm-hmm, correct. Yeah, yeah, that and that.
come
Okay,
up
yeah.
with new estimates and stuff again, quotes.
So the overall price for John Deere is $322,000.
That's correct. That's
Okay.
the cash price. If you wanted to, this lease payment I gave you is, nothing's gonna change about that. I can guarantee you what that lease payment's gonna be. I don't know what their lease payment is or what they said they would do to match my payment, but that's correct. It's $322,000 for the selling price on it. And
Okay,
then if you wanted to buy it at the end, it's on that next page right there at the top. $115,411.30. So I'm not sure what their residual or what they've offered, but if you ever got in a situation like this where you needed to buy it when the lease was done, I'm not sure what their purchase out number is, but ours is $115,411.30.
okay. It looks like your buyout is $129,500.
Correct.
So I think yours is 322,000. I mean, 322,000, and yours is 350,000. But we were talking about the lease payments being neck and neck, right?
Because of your residual.
Okay, so I think I'm seeing that's why the buyout at the end is gonna be, I mean, it's gonna be neck and neck but if we decide to buy it out at the end, we're gonna still have to pay more for your,
At the end.
At the
If you decide
end.
to buy it, which-
right, okay. Okay, that
It
answered
sounds
my
like
question.
You're correct. It sounds
Yeah.
like you got a higher selling price and a higher residual.
Residual, yeah, that's what my question
don't
was.
know
I was
what
trying to,
payment-
yeah.
What payment did y'all have to payment they quoted?
Is it on there, the payment?
Yours was 41.
Mine's 49.
Yeah, 49, okay.
On this quote.
It's about $160.
Mhm. Okay, that answers my question.
I think we need to go ahead and move on it, like Alan said, instead of sitting waiting on it. And if he can give us what we need now, then we might need to go with him.
Well, it really didn't cost you no more a month, basically, is that correct, Clay? One machine is not really cost you more.
As far as there, no, if he's gonna do this same number for the lease, that would, they'd be taking that.
And we've always just rolled it over into another lease at the end of that
About
term.
$30,000
We haven't
today.
bought one out since I've been.
Yeah, we haven't bought
Yeah,
one
how
yet, so.
And they're willing to go ahead and give us what we
Yeah,
need
they go
now.
ahead and give us a machine to run.
Yeah.
That's a big bonus right
So-
there.
115, right?
$30,000.
But if he's meeting us neck and neck, I mean, and we never bought out before, we're not looking at the buying
The
out.
other machine will cost $44,000 more to own it than that John Deere does.
Well, have we ever looked to buy out? No. Have we ever looked into buying out? No.
Well, I mean,
We
It's
just
in the
lease it.
packet there. The buyout to that cat's in that packet. That's what you're
Yeah,
asking.
that's.
And we
were
also looking at if we need equipment we need to get right now, instead of waiting.
Well, I mean, so what the problem is what was the payment on the old one out of SPOS? 26, 27?
27, 2,800.
Right at 3.
So we're almost doubling
So
the,
now you're looking at about $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
Almost double.
Yeah, almost double. And his SPOS is maxed out. So where you gonna get the money from?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Well, Andy had suggested go ahead and apply for a grant for the limb cutter and paying it off. And then you would have that much money freed up to be able to do what you need to do.
Can we do that, dude?
We can try. I mean, like I said, those grants are not guaranteed, but she did say that the money's out there. I would need like an invoice, like an invoice to pay it out and then turn it in and make sure it's done. But, I mean, I feel confident we could.
What you think?
Any Kubota's coming off too in
Yeah.
June,
That'd be
July.
1,200 or something.
That's $1,800 right there, so.
We could wait and see if we can pay that off before we make a decision, that way we know
Yeah, I
where we
guess we
stand.
can, as long as we
That's
can do
what I
it before
suggest.
the quotes run out, because if
Yeah.
they
Which
run
is
out,
when, what
then
time
we'll
frame
start
we
all
have?
over again like John Deere, like we done.
When'd you quote, how long are they good for?
Oh, mine's good as enough. I know you asked me about the loaner. If y'all make a decision, can I give you an answer on that in the morning?
Sure.
Whether I can provide a loaner?
Yeah, I think we're going, I won't say table it, but we're gonna wait till we hear back from Doug before we.
About the grant, see about the grant.
My price is good. I put it on the quote as long as the machine's ordered before May 26th. Which that's.
You're the same,
Mine's good.
Well, if you wait till July, make a decision, my price is still good.
So we good on the time, and, so I would say let's wait and see what we
Yeah.
find out on the grant.
Yeah,
We'll just go ahead and table this in until we get more information on the limb
on the
cutter,
grant.
this
Well,
grant
Mhm.
from Doug.
I'd like to.
Yeah.
I'm like Jeff, I'd like to see how we will pay for
Yeah.
it. What's 27 times 12?
Appreciate y'all guys coming.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, we'll move on to new business then.
700 times 12.
Senior center lease, and that Danny Shepherd paid us 56 through 64.
So what Danny did was Danny finally got it to me. This is a draft he wants you guys, I think Mr. Claude, he gave Mr. Claude one. He wants you guys to look it over, read the draft, if there's anything that you think needs to be added or changed. And then like I say, with you too, Mr. Claude, if there's anything that you think needs to be added or changed, just get with us and get with Mr. Danny, and then we can all time.
I just gotta hold this at home.
Yeah, he just finally finished it.
So I have to read it.
So
Just sign it, just sign it.
That's fine.
Just go ahead and sign, you ain't gotta read it.
I read it.
You don't trust lawyers?
So we wanna table this in, is that
Oh,
what?
yeah, just for y'all to look it over, take it, and each one of y'all just kind of read it, look through there. And he also did tell me that, I don't know, did he tell you where you are with the, creating the organization? He said he's almost about done.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
he gave me some other stuff.
that's how to do. So we're all working on that. That's almost done. So by the time you guys approve this, they'll be an official organization and everything. Right on.
Well, Mr. Claude, how does it look to y'all? Y'all happy so far?
Well, I went down there one day and looked it over, played with it. I saw a refrigerator sitting in there, an freezer, and a hot line, but it didn't say ice maker.
Yeah,
Not any of it
we're
not any
gonna
of it
provide the ice maker, because that was part of the deal.
And not any of it hooked up when I was down there.
What they
We
have
ain't
to do
done
is-
yet, we ain't done
For
yet.
that
We
refrigerator,
ain't
they
done
have to,
yet.
where that other one is, they're gonna have to measure and cut that
Rough on
cabinet
us,
down.
they have rough on us, I tell
And
you.
then they're gonna make sure that the hot plate has to have its own, I think it's 120 outlets. Cause it's got the cross, plug in it, so he has to put that in. Well, Austin, you remember, I don't think it was a 220 plug, that's the big one, right?
I think that hot line runs 220.
Okay, well, I'll make sure of it, I think we got the 120.
He knows more about it.
Jerry said. Anyway, either way, they're in the process, he's staying on it, they still gotta probably tear that building down.
Well, I made some notes I was gonna
Okay.
ask, if y'all will give me the time.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, one of them was before we start into the building. I mean, I know the paperwork's got to clear everything, got to clear y'all before we can move in. Okay. And you mentioned the building, I was gonna mention that about the old building.
That's right, yes, sir. That's right.
And the old clothesline that can come down too. And you know, we looked at that metal thing in the back by that big
Yes,
ring, you know?
that is,
Something like a gas meter or something.
yeah, we're trying to figure out who, it's not the cities, we don't know if somebody just took a propane tank and buried it. So we can't go in there and like just start jamming around, I mean, we may can get Andy one day to come over with a chain to try to hook it, but the city said that is not part of theirs. So we gotta figure out what that is and make sure it's safe to get it removed.
Or just fit it off and seal it off or something.
Yeah.
You take it back over and dig right there, you'll find out.
And the shed,
The shed, yes, sir, the shed.
okay. All right, the only other question I got now, you know, we starting off zero. Y'all really help us on finances till we get some money going? I got some people that said they might could help me get a grant, but you know how grants are. I ain't
Mr. Claude, what we've been able to find out, we cannot just hand y'all money. Am I correct in that,
That's
Judge
right.
Faye?
I mean, we can buy your supplies, we can buy like your utilities or anything like that, but we can't just give like a gratuity. What it's called is against the Constitution, giving a gratuity.
Well, I'm most concerned about cleaning supplies,
So we can provide that.
you know, paper towels,
Yes, sir.
toilet tissue,
We can do all that.
and stuff like that, so.
As long as they're fine with that, we can do that.
And,
Anything that's like a good, like a tangible good, we can provide. We just can't hand over a check.
Like I said, I don't know anything about grants, but I've talked to some people who said they might could help me.
You got some heavy hitters. If you could just get them to help you a little bit, you got some heavy hitters in there that could help you get some money.
You know how folks say with money, they always lose.
Well, I'm telling you, I mean, I know some of the ones in the group there. I mean, they know how to get grants and they.
I know they got, well, I talked to one lady who used to write grants, but she said she didn't, had wrote one so long, she didn't know.
It'll come right back to her.
But, she said she might, you know, she's working on it with.
There you go.
Well,
All
I've got
right.
a grant meeting Wednesday with a few people, and I can talk to them and see if we can get that help too. But if you'll give me a list of what y'all need, we can start.
Well, the main thing concerning me now is getting somebody to be in charge. I'm not gonna take that job on. And if I know there's been this much trouble, I would do this one.
Huh.
I was just sort of forced into it, really. So, but it's been I worked hard on it, trying to get it going. But anyway, but I won't take on the job as, you know, as manager or supervisor. I mean, I take on the job as, what this lease is, but outside that requirement, you know.
Mr. Clark, did y'all get all the equipment back that you was, that, you know, that was
Well, now,
spread it
that's
around?
what I was gonna ask, where is our stuff that come out of that building?
Brad's got the list. He's got the inventory list that's supposed to be going through it. So he has it stored up here, in a room at the concessions. There's like a storage room. So he's got most of it there. Me and Mr. Allen had talked about, I think the couch was kind of faded.
Couches.
Yeah, so we'll buy a brand new couch and all that. Whatever we need to buy to replace, we'll do that.
Okay, but then, I got to have eye surgery tomorrow, so I'll be down for a week. I can't be there for a week. But I'm gonna need somebody to go with me to the center.
Okay.
Or we need our silverware, or we need our games that we had in there. And anything else that we would use and needs to come out, that's, if it's not in stores, it needs to come out of that center over there and be moved down.
Do you want to wait till your eyes better and then come up here and I can get Brad to take you up there and escort you up there and let you walk through it?
I'll be down a week with these eyes.
Okay.
I mean, I can see, but at least I'm gonna be black and blue
And I think, Ms. Christine, I think the only thing that we don't have on site that I know of is the piano, and it's at the nursing home. But that can be brought back to.
We probably won't need a piano, but anyway, if we do, we'll get.
Okay, just let us know. I mean, just let us know.
But, and like I said, I went down one day last week, but the building was locked. I couldn't get in to see what was going on. So.
Yes, sir. And, just let me know and I'll be glad to take you down there.
But, well, I just have to be in town. I don't believe I'm gonna run by and see. But,
I don't think, probably if the refrigerator was sitting there and the freezer and the hot pot, I don't think they've done anything since.
but when I went in there that day, it was sitting there.
Yeah, it's probably still the same
The
then.
refrigerator was sitting there, and the freezer, and the hot light.
That's
Well,
right.
I didn't see the ice maker.
That's right.
How big ice maker y'all think y'all need?
Right beside it was in this slow area.
Do we know how big it was?
No, not really, where it's at. I mean,
It should be in the concessions. I believe that's where it was moved. I'll try to get the model, make a model off of it.
Just how many pounds it is. I wouldn't think they would need a £400 a day ice machine over
It
there.
was, the one we had wasn't as big as what we,
Yeah.
we did have, because the one we did have quit. We got that one,
Mhm.
and it wasn't quite as big. It made enough ice, but it wasn't as big, you know, we couldn't.
Mhm.
Or you couldn't come get a cooler ice and have something, you know, it wasn't as big, but it made it clean. Whatever that one is, it was over there.
I'll get the model number.
That's big clean.
Anything else, Mr. Law?
No, I don't think I had anything on my list. I may think of something else.
You just call us if you do.
But we appreciate all you do, and I hope everything works out real good with you on your eye surgery.
But like I say, I'll be down for a week, I reckon. I don't know what's in the house that long enough.
Miss Sylvia gonna chauffeur you around?
No, she can't drive no more. She's straight driving.
I'll give us-
I have to do all the driving, all the housework, all the cooking, all the, everything.
Appreciate you, Mr.
All
Law.
right. Appreciate
Yes,
y'all.
All
sir.
right, good night.
All right, next on the agenda, departments. It's the road department first.
I guess I'm the only one here, so I know y'all probably got it in your package, out on Highway 310, where White Bridge Road comes into it.
Mhm.
State sent us a letter, and Doug got it, and passed it along to me. There've been some pretty serious accidents out there, and they recommended that we go and put, it's a wrap that goes around the signpost, and it's a yellow reflective wrap, and I'm sure they'll put a red one, the state will, at the stop sign. They want ours on the stop ahead sign. We ordered that, cause that's kinda low dollar. They also asked that we put rumble strips down, and I think the quote was like $5,800. It should be in y'all's package. On White's Bridge, you know, coming from both directions. And you'll get three sets each way. And I think it was $5,800.
Mhm.
And that's, you know, that's up to y'all, whether y'all want to do it. It was a recommendation from the state that,
How much does it cost to put them blinking light things?
I don't know, Layden. I mean, that'll have to be solar, you know, out there.
And they
The
got
last
on River
time we
Road,
looked at some,
you know what I'm talking about on River Road?
Not going to Newton back.
Yeah, going to Camilla.
Bad section.
Yeah.
they were pretty costly, you know, for that little pedestal and being solar and all. I think we looked at some to go at the school up there. I hadn't checked on that. They recommended rumble strips, so that's what I checked on, was the rumble strips.
A lot of accidents there.
Can you get a price on the stop signs with the?
I guess we can, yeah. I mean, you know, I was just going by what the state engineers went out there and looked at it, and, you know, did a study on it, and that's what they recommended was us to do those two things. I don't know, you know, much about the solar operated light. I know they got them over at, you know, on 310 at 84 over there, since they had so many wrecks, they put some there, I think. I don't know which one would be the best. You know, the rumble strips. And these are gonna be real fluorescent too. They're white. They're gonna have a lot of they're not gonna just be black asphalt. It'll be something that you see. When you driving up there, it'll glow in the dark, you know, and you'll see three of them and run across it before you get there. So, I mean, I'll do whatever y'all wanna do. I just went by the letter that they sent to Doug, and Doug passed it on to us, and that was the recommendation. Now, we went ahead and ordered the wrap for the signpost, and we'll get that on as soon as they come in. But the rumble strips, you know, that's gonna be left up to y'all, or if you wanna look at lights, or whatever y'all wanna do, I'm more than willing to look at it. We'll search it over and find some.
We need to do something as soon as possible before somebody else
And
gets.
there's some bad wrecks right there. I mean, you know, that spot right there, and I'm surprised we hadn't lost somebody at Grady Cobb, where Grady Cobb and 3 Notch comes in. That actually needs to be reworked right there. Grady Cobb actually needs to turn into 3 Notch, where you have to come to a stop and you can look right and left. That road needs to be reworked right there to solve that problem. But that's all I know to do is something to make people aware on 310. Cause I mean, I don't see why they have a lot of wrecks there, cause it's flat land, you can see both ways. I mean, there's nothing blocking the view, but, you know, for some reason, we're having some bad wrecks right there.
What do y'all think about going ahead and putting them strips down?
I said, for safety, go
Yeah.
ahead.
And I think they'll do it, you know, pretty quick. You know, they're gonna probably, somebody's gonna be here paving for us, you know, we're gonna
Yeah.
do some paving so we
I
can get.
still
them
like to know how much, I mean, I ain't talking about doing either or, I'm talking about both. You know, I mean, I don't know.
Oh, I got you. You
Yeah.
wanna add, instead of, you wanna put the rumble
I know them
strips
things
down.
work really good, cause I go that way a lot. And I mean, you can see them things at night, at dusk, in the morning, you can see them
Well,
lights
I'll find
blinking.
out, you know, if y'all wanna go
I
ahead and let's work on the rumble strips, we'll get to working on that, and we'll find out,
Yeah, that's what I,
what the little
I ain't saying we
yellow,
got to, I'm just saying, I mean, if they,
we'll look
Get a price
into it.
on
yeah, just get a price,
You
on
know,
it. I mean, if it's,
I
if
haven't
it's
never
doable.
priced any late, so I don't even have a
But it may be
ballpark.
$20,000, I don't know.
No, I don't think we can do that, but
But, yeah, but I mean, they might not be.
I don't foresee it be, I mean, when I said they were costly, it was more than what people wanted to spend there at the school.
Yeah.
And they just put up some signs, and speaking of that, there's, the signs at the school up there need to be replaced.
You talking about,
I mean,
you talking about where you turn in at, you talking about?
well, the school zone signs, you know, the
Yeah.
signs up and down the road, telling you there's a school zone, there's no letters left on them at all. That's in the city's territory, we talked to them a time or two and nobody's replaced them. But
How about ask the Board of Education, will they help?
we can talk to them, but I'm getting a lot of complaints about those signs not being legible. And, you know, I'd hate for a couple $50 signs to get somebody hurt right there.
Yeah.
So I was gonna tell y'all,
Well, I'm saying is when we ask the Board of Education, what kind of signs and let them, I mean, they got money too, I mean.
well, yeah, I mean,
They can.
but anyway, I wanted to bring it up to y'all, cause I'm getting a lot of complaints about the signs being, there's no writing left on them. They're just, and they're faded out and they're, you know, there's nothing, it tells nothing. It's just a yellow sign up there now and, you know, there's some people want something replaced and.
And you
You know,
said
we-
that's the city's, not
It's the
ours?
city, the city owns the road now all the way out to the golf course. You know, the county turned over Phillipsburg to the city all the way out to the golf course. That's where the city limit sign is.
So the city would be responsible for replacing those signs, correct?
Yeah,
They should be.
yeah, but, I mean, I've talked to, Shelley's called them once or twice, cause she gets complaint, you know, she answers the phone and she's talked to them. And I talked to Shanahan a while back, cause somebody else come along and, you know, was fussing at me about it. And I passed it along to them, but nobody's replaced them, and I kinda was a part of that when we built all that, and I put up the signs to start with. And, you know, I'd hate to see somebody get hurt there for a few signs. You know, I know school's about out, but it don't take one morning, one foggy morning, and, you know, somebody come there that don't know the territory, and, you know, they didn't see the sign, cause it wasn't legible.
Well, a person's life is a lot more
That
important
sign,
than a handful
I
of
imagine
signs.
we could get one for about $40, you know, I don't, they're $40, $50 probably, and I'd hate for a few signs to get somebody hurt, you know? So I was gonna bring it up to y'all, see what you wanted to do.
The 5,800, where's it gonna come from?
That's what I said, so I have to go with the people.
Or y'all wanna go ahead and let's go ahead and do these strips, but that's something we can go ahead and get done.
Yes, for safety. I say yes.
Yeah.
To be paid out of T-Splosh, 'cause that's where the money is. We have a motion to go ahead,
I make the motion.
do we have a second?
I second.
All in favor? Motion carried.
I'll get started on that. Y'all should have a budget quote in there on some paving. Kinda kept finagling with the guy to, you know, it's a budget quote on kind of what money we got. We can finish up Grimsley. We can do the road in Borkin. We did look at the road in Borkin, and he agreed that that road is about to the point to where if we don't do something with it, we have to take the asphalt up. But we're also gonna get to do some on Cooktown too, cause I told him Layden was gonna get hung if we didn't at least start on it, so if y'all want me to quote, to bid out what is in that quote, those three things, I'll run a bid, I'll bid it out and we'll get started on getting a contract
What
from
will that be
somebody.
our part of the total cost, sir? You said approximate cost $570,000. What's gonna be our part, our match?
We match about 130-something thousand, give or take, it's 30% of, 400 and something thousand, I can't remember exact numbers on what the grant is, but it's about 130,000.
I think we got 460 from LD this time, wasn't it?
What was that?
Wasn't it like 460 we got?
Yeah, it's 460, 470, somewhere along in there, and then we have to put in 30% of it. The price that you're looking at, the price you're looking at on that budget quote in Borken there, I'm gonna have to do a little work there to get that price. There's some sand and all in the road, and there's some things that, to get it down to that price, I'm gonna take care of part of it. But then that'll give us money to move on to another road too. And it's nothing that we can't, the work we can handle do.
And that'll finish up Grimsley and the Boykin Road, those will be finished, correct?
And
Yeah.
we, most likely we'll get, I'm saying probably if we just do one side, and that's usually when they pull one side, like pulling one Cooktown adding on, we should get maybe close to 2 miles. You can do a mile on both sides, but there's really no use of pulling them off one side when they come back to pull the whole road, they're gonna do one side and come back up the other, so. But anyway, I kinda gonna take up some of the work off of the Borken Road up there to get the price down to where we can move on to another road too, if y'all all agreeable with that.
Now, you take next year out there on Cooktown Road, what should we look to get done? I know it's gonna be based on price, I realize that, but just an idea of what kind of work we're gonna be able to do.
On Cooktown,
Yeah.
I'm figuring 2 miles of pulling one side.
All right, now, next year, what will?
Oh, next year we'll put,
4 miles.
about $45,000 a mile down one side, so you're gonna have $500,000 you're gonna do.
What is it, 10 miles?
Yeah,
Something
like
like
that road's a little longer than Bellevue, I don't know the exact number, but it goes on across and goes into, to Baker County, that road's right at 10 miles, so you're looking at pulling one whole side, is what I'm figuring.
Now, we'll go to resurface it, do we need to look at doing it like we done Bellevue?
Yeah, we just have to do it in sections. We'll start here, and we'll do as far as we can go with money, and then we'll tie on, go as far as we can. It's gonna take a little while. It took a little while for, Bellevue. And.
Yeah, it took us about 3 years, didn't it?
Right. And, we, got getting a good deal on the pricing, cause we kinda linked in. You don't have to go with it. That's y'all's decision, but the guy that usually does our paving, he linked us in they're gonna do some paving on 27, and he bought a lot of product and kinda added us in there when it was lower priced. So, he kinda really helping us out, And if y'all wanted to try to do some of the park, Mike can do some of that too. I don't know about that, but the more you put in the pile, the less, that price gets better, But I'll go ahead and get a bid put out, get it run in the paper and all where we can make a decision, on which way we do want to go.
Well, do we need a motion in this? Go ahead and let him proceed forward.
Yes.
We need a motion to let Andy go ahead and proceed forward bidding this out.
I'll make a motion.
Have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
I guess we all want to talk about the fence at the fire department.
I done heard about that, I don't need to talk about it no more.
I don't even know what happened. All I know is the tracks out there, and whoever was driving the truck probably been in and out of that place 1,000,000 times, and when they come in, they did the same thing they probably have done 1,000,000 times, and when they made that hard right, they just run into the post. I think, my personal opinion, I think if you put the fence up, they'll get used to it.
But didn't we discuss
Oh.
that they're gonna move it, like move it back or something?
Well, now, that's what y'all
If
got
we move it
proposed.
back, Christine, we need every inch that we got out there.
It's really gonna, if you move the fence, it's really gonna hurt the dump site. Now,
Well, now, if
There-
you look, if you
it's
look
gonna
at-
take a lot away from the front, cause the truck and the dumpster is 80 feet. Just with them sitting there, that's 80 foot. And if that's all you gonna have, if we move the fence back, you'll only have 79 feet from there to the other fence. I mean, it's really gonna take away from the dump site if you take off that 25 feet.
Now.
Is that what it is from that fence to that red line? How far is it from that fence?
I've seen it out there on the
They
ground.
came
Now,
over.
I didn't see it.
How far is it from that fence to that red line right there?
19 foot.
19 feet.
Now, the city came
Are they
over,
gonna give some over there?
yeah, they came over and they proposed the secondary, they come over at 3 o'clock today and proposed if you're willing to move this, they're willing to give us whatever land. I mean, we could actually have more. They
Yeah.
said as long as we stay on this side of the telephone pole,
That would be
we
the
could have
option
what,
right there.
and they would be willing to sign a
That's
contract,
moving
like an
that.
agreement with
That's
us
Moving
saying.
it
Yeah.
19 feet? Nice.
Yes.
Is that what you
But-
said?
Yes,
That's a good
but
point,
instead of right here, they would come on down by the telephone pole, so it'd be equal with that telephone pole, and they would give us whatever we needed.
I think that's better. We getting more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they willing to work with us, I mean, that, you know, I mean, if you take that off up there at the fire station, it's really gonna hurt the dump site. But if they willing to work with some of that back there that
Yeah,
they're
they said
not
they would do
using,
whatever it took.
I don't
make
have
it
a
work.
problem with that at all.
I think
It's gonna be a little more expense, cause, you know, we're gonna have to redo a lot of stuff that we've already done.
But if we're gonna keep running into the problem of them running over the
Yeah, I
fence.
mean,
it's
gonna be
so-
money.
It's gonna be
I'm
money.
If they okay with that,
Yeah.
I'm definitely okay
We
with
we
that.
just need to compromise
Yeah,
with them.
I agree with that right there. Now, we gonna have to, it's gonna cost us a little more money to go back and redo and, you know, we have to buy a couple more poles and it's gonna be a little more expense, but that would probably give us a lot more room to
What, you
work
gonna
with.
you gonna put 3 out there, 3 dumpsters out there?
They actually gonna be more than that, Lee,
More than
because you got, you gonna have a scrap iron dumpster, you gonna have a wood and furniture dumpster, and we usually have 2 of them, each of them. But now, room is gonna make a difference. Then up front, you're gonna have some dumpsters up front to what we can fit in there, because this is gonna be a busy dump site.
Yeah.
It was always our main dump site when we had it on that side of the county. You're gonna see this thing here be busy every minute of
They
the
were
day.
more trash come in on 91 Dawson Highway than any other one.
Yeah, I mean,
If not, both of them put together.
I mean, I'm just saying that it's gonna be a real busy place. It always has been.
So Mr. Allen also put in this morning about possibly putting in another gate. You still looking at wanting to do that?
Yeah, it would be nice if they could come through and drive through.
Where that
Like-
2 is?
Like a drive-through type deal.
Well, it can be on this one, I guess.
It would come
Right.
off of that side road, which has got a no name. I don't think there's a name.
Oh.
It doesn't, Sheriff?
So you gonna drive through right here like that?
What Alan wanted to do, with what we had out there, he wanted to put a gate in the back where you can kinda go straight through.
Yeah.
Cause if we narrowed it down, you're gonna have a problem turning with trailers.
You talking about right here, you talking about?
That would be the best place.
Yeah, that'll go right back to the dirt road.
So you gonna
Yeah.
just kinda come through
Yeah.
right there?
Right.
Alright, I got you.
I think that's good.
That way you ain't gonna have no two-way
So
traffic.
y'all need to go ahead and make a motion to do that and add another gate.
Alright.
So moved.
Have y'all, any of y'all been by and saw the fence and the gates that we got? Have you seen it, Lee?
It looks real good.
How'd you like the gates?
Mhm.
I don't know much about it. Doug knows more about it than I do, but there was an incident at the main dump site with the gates, and we're gonna have to replace them. And we had discussed the gates before, cause everybody was climbing them and, you know, it was a problem. I think we might, if Layden's seen it, I think we've solved our problem with climbing the gates. I come up with a way to make my gates, and they look good, didn't they, Layden?
You may have to put some convict wire at the top of it.
I think if they get to the top, they gonna realize that they climbed.
Put your hot wire up there.
But I think we need to do the same thing out at the dump site bins we got.
Willis Cook, you talking about?
Yeah, cause I don't know exactly what happened with the gate, but something got into the gate and tore the gates up. And, we're gonna have to replace them. And we should have done that. I always said we needed to take a chain link fence, you know, get some links made to keep people from climbing them.
Are we gonna have electricity out here? I'm assuming.
We'll have cameras, electricity, and water.
On this,
Um,
at this site, looks like, I guess it would be on the north end. We might need to put our own fence up on that end instead of, I guess, relying on, I guess that would be the old sisters, LAPD.
Yeah, they got a chain link fence up our city.
Well, the only thing with that, if something happens to our fence, we're gonna be open on that side. If they take it down for some reason, or if, you know, if they sold or.
We kinda was just gonna go, you know, that is fenced in all the way around, and I was kinda just going by, let's see if we have a problem. If we have a problem, we'll fence it in. If not, I mean, it's good to go, or if they take it down, we'll have to put up a fence. I mean, I was just trying to save money when I did it. I could put up one there if y'all want one there now.
I would
I
wait,
mean,
I
I
would wait,
would-
let's see if we have any trouble.
Yeah,
That's kinda, I mean,
'Cause
if
it's a
it
pretty
had
good,
just
it's a
been
pretty good
single
fence. It's a
fence-
pretty good fence.
Yeah, well, if it had just been a single fence, I'd have said fence it in. But that place is fenced downside. I mean, they'd have to climb 2 fences to ever even get around there to our dump site. So I left that kind of the way it was to save money.
Well, I recommend let's go ahead with the city's proposal.
Do they have some numbers on there? Like, we're gonna go 15 feet this way,
They said
32 feet this
They said
way?
as long as you stay towards that
They
telephone
just using
pole, you
your-
can have whatever you need.
Why don't we meet tomorrow? You get with them, we'll meet tomorrow, we go out there and they can flag the corners that they gonna give us. And we'll go to putting up the
You
fence
know
and
how
get the
many
thing open.
dumpsters? Craig had asked me to find out how many dumpsters you needed so they can go in order.
We gonna have to, I tried to get up with them today to bring the truck in there with a dumpster where we could kinda go to positioning them to see which is the best direction. Cause like I said, that truck and dumpster just sitting there is 80 feet long. That's no turning room, nothing. We're gonna have to kinda just start putting something somewhere and looking at it, and then we'll figure out how many we need.
Well, that's another thing, that going back to this, was, me and Jeff talked about the avenue dump, that y'all had talked about going through. We need to also, if we want to do that, we need to go ahead and make a motion and get that, because the landowner, he's basically saying that we can do it, we just need to get some kind of an agreement with him.
Yeah, I reached out to Mark Merritt Jr. and, discussed it with him, and he was in agreement with us using his property, you know,
Where it used to be.
where it used to be, yeah, the exact location. And it's already got a fence and all.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna need to do it the same way we're doing these.
And that's fine, yeah.
I mean, we're gonna need to fence it off. We done found out the fence don't work, that's why we went to something different. And this fence seems to be working and we don't have the problems that we had before. If we gonna open it, that was one thing that, you know, Jeff talked to Mark, and Mark talked to me some. He wanted it fenced off like we got the big dump sites and others where people can't just go and get in
That's
it.
right. Keep
Cause
the
that
property
dump
clean.
site was terrible. It got terrible.
Another thing we're gonna run into out there, you're gonna have people going from Seminole County, Early County, Baker County, all going to these dump sites, you know. That's been an issue ever since it's been built. You've got people who actually live in Miller County, but they're buying the tags in Seminole County, Early County, Decatur County, Baker County. We're losing a lot of revenue there on tags because they're going outside the county and buying them because the address may say 110 Baker County, you know, they get the mail from Baker County, but they still actually live in Miller County. So if they're going over there buying the tags, so we're losing that revenue. And me and Doug talked about it, we need to just, people have a sticker or something to put on an automobile. If they come in there and they ain't got that sticker, and if they got a Miller County tag, they need to come up here and get that sticker, you know, to put on it.
They charge so much per year for that sticker.
You know, like $25 a year or something like that. You know, if you've got more than one vehicle, then, you know, you've taken accordance to that, you know.
You're going to have somebody enforce that, or you ain't gonna be you gonna have somebody out there to enforce it?
Yeah, you're gonna have somebody operating dump sites.
It's a hard thing to do. I did talk to somebody, you know, that's been a controversy, like Alan said, for a long time. Talked to somebody about theirs and they do monitor theirs. You pull up in theirs and your tag says another county, they walk up to you and say, hey, you can't dump here. They said, well, this is my mama's trash. They'll tell you quick, go home, get your mama's car and come back. I mean, they
Yeah,
do
that-
monitor theirs. I
That
mean,
sounds all good and fine, but if you got an attendant out there that we pay to do that, if somebody comes out and gets combative,
it
you
gets
could get,
combative.
you could get into a mess right quick.
Yeah, you can, Layton. I got into it at the Avenue dump site. It got to be such a mess. I went and run it. I had some guys come in there and they let me know how old I was and how young they was,
Before
but
we go that route, we may want to talk about that some before we go that route.
You're talking about
I tell my guys, you can talk to them,
increased.
and tell them, hey, don't do this, what, but if they say something back to you, just walk off from it, take the tag number down, we'll turn it over to Mr. Jimmy and them, and let them handle it from there.
You have
Don't-
cameras out there anyway, right? I mean.
Yes.
Yeah, don't argue with them, just let them do whatever they gonna do, and we'll clean it up and get their tag number and let them leave and not get into it with them. You can ask them not to do it, but if they get ugly about it, just
Well,
leave it,
I
let it go
think-
at that, get the tag number, move on.
I think we need to talk about it and have some guidelines kind of set, and,
Maybe set some ordinances on
yeah,
it.
set some ordinances.
It needs to be regulated way more than what we have done in the past. I've said that, and Jeff and I talked about that, when we talked about opening the one out there at Avenue. We got to have some rules and regulations on. You got people that rent out a bunch of houses, you got contractors that don't get a dumpster at their site, then they bring all that to the county. Doug and I has talked about, if it comes in, if it's not in a bag, a household garbage bag, that's what we are. We're a household dump site. We're not really taking a bunch of stuff. Get the scales, that was the plan when we opened up out there, was to get the scales back up and working. If stuff comes in on a trailer, you pull them across the scales, you weigh them. And you got a fee that you charge, that's what every other county does. Washing machines, $3, a dryer's $3, a stove's $4. I mean, they people that's what they do. And, we kind of started, but then we just let it go through the crack and never completed it. If that's something y'all want to consider, we'll come up with a plan to do that. But you're
I
gonna get.
just want to say that Andy is in favor to the people of Miller County of charging them to put trash out there.
No, not trash, but you get a lot of contract stuff. I mean, when you get somebody comes out there and fills up 2 dumpsters.
Oh, I'm with you, I know that, but I mean, you're gonna have some ordinances, I mean, what if I'm redoing my house and I say, hey, mine's full, I'm gonna pull out there, I mean, you're gonna have something.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to take some stuff too, cause you get into having to carry it to different dump sites. If you get too big in it, you're gonna have to separate it. We try to separate furniture and scrap iron already, but if you start, if it continues and gets bigger.
You talking about hiring a different person and some more labor and stuff though, when you get into all the stuff you're talking about.
That's exactly right.
So,
that's kind of where,
right,
you can make changes, but changes come with consequences.
that's right.
Or either they kind of stated, my main thing is monitoring where they don't get out of hand. I don't have a problem with people bringing trash to the dump. I worked hard to get this one back on this side of the county, because there's a lot of elderly people been ringing my phone off the hook. We can't pay this $70 a month. Please do something for us. And we hunted up a spot. We're gonna open back up. It's gonna make a lot of people on that side of the county happy. I'm not just getting into we need to charge everything, but then again, you're taking a lot of commercial stuff in a dump site that the taxpayers is paying for somebody that's making money too late.
Oh, I agree with you 100%, but you're not gonna be able to pick and choose. How does that fella, when he pulls in, he's gonna say, oh, this is my house stuff? And they don't say they'll pull up, and I mean, they'll get creative they'll bag up everything they got.
I've been through it.
Yeah.
It's
just gonna be hard. It's just gonna be hard to believe.
You got to ride the fence, or you either got to get down and dirty and make rules and stick by them. And right now, kind of what we're doing is working well. We're not overrun, every week. But then again, sometimes you get people brings in, they start bringing it in by the trailer load, and they'll fill up 2 or 3 dumpsters, and then you got to close the dump site like on Saturday because you can't get it done.
Yeah,
There's some things you need to monitor a little better than what we're doing, but I don't say get down you know, just get down and
That's what I'm
dirty.
saying, you're gonna have to have some discussion on how you're gonna do it.
That's right.
But you take it back before they closed Donaldson Highway dump site. They went there and dumped that morning, all the roll-offs were empty. I'm not gonna call no names, but they called me. He wanted to know when they were gonna have the dumpsters emptied again. I said, I just come by there, they just emptied every one of them. He had a stream of trucks and trailers go through and just fill up every one of those dumpsters. I mean, just the time they brought them back, they were filling them up. Events houses, I ain't going no further than that. You know, the fella got mad because there wasn't no more dumpsters, even though he had just filled up every one of them out there, they had just emptied.
Oh, I get it, I know, but
It's
you
a
ain't
hard
gonna be
thing
able
to
to
deal
tell,
with.
you're
I've
not
dealt
gonna be
with
able to
it.
tell that, if you ain't got some ordinances or some rules and regulations,
That's-
you ain't gonna be able to tell that one no and tell this one yes.
You got to either kind of ride the
Yeah.
boat, or either you got to jump in the water and go
So
swimming.
you're gonna have to have a household sticker, you're gonna have a commercial sticker, and you're gonna have to have ordinances, if they pull in with a trailer, and you're gonna have to have somebody there that is gonna police it or write down the tag number if they don't do it, cause you can't go up there and say, you can't do this, cause
It-
you don't want your employee to get in a fight with somebody about the
It's a
trash.
hard thing to manage. Right
Right.
now, what we're doing is working way better than what we had in the past. Fencing this thing off and having it closed is gonna be the main thing. That's about as far as I'm talking about wanting to go. Now, if you wanna step into something else, like Lane said, you're gonna have to sit down and, you're gonna have to come up with
Let's
a
do all-
whole
let's-
new
let's do-
plan.
Yeah, let's
to
do all
do
this and see how it works, and then we may have
Monitoring the
to,
thing and keeping, letting people in on a certain day and not in the next day is what we need to do. When it's open, you go to the dump. When it's closed, you don't go. That's where we had messed up. We didn't have it where we could control it. This fence that we're putting up has really changed everything about the dump business with us.
Then if you get them in there after hour, they ain't supposed to be there, you got cameras. Fine.
Oh, we'd have to go to the dump sites every day, cause they'd be folks coming there at night, and they'd open up all the tailgates, trash all over the floor. They'd tear the cameras down. I mean, we dealt with it all, but the fence has worked very well. That's why I say if we moved to Avenue, I'm all for opening it up, but we just need to put the fence up, put up good gates. I don't know, Layden, I think he said he went by and saw this one out here. It looks good. The fence looks good, the gates look good. I think we're really gonna be able to monitor it well. We need to fix the one out here the same way. Just go ahead and put the gates up out there to keep people from climbing them. They really don't mess with nothing when they just climbing them, they just carrying a bag of trash out there, but it's still something you need to monitor. You need to close the dump site on Tuesday, close it on Thursday, whatever, you know, your days they're open, and days it's closed, it's closed.
And we already got a tenant for,
Yes, we've already got an attendant for this. We had it in y'all's package too about the building. I've got a building that I saved from the park. They wanted to tear it down. And I said, well, the doggone building looks good. You know, I mean, it was in good shape, so I took the loader and moved it to the road department. And it's just been sitting there, the building's in fairly decent shape. We need to do the inside, I think it's figured up, air conditioner, some insulation, paneling, like $1,700, or either we could buy a building and still have to do the inside of it. So if y'all wanna just let me do the building, I'll fix this building, carry it out there, put it out there, save us from buying one. I still got to build a service pole, you know, we got to have electricity, so I hadn't done the service pole. I'm gonna get with Mr. Jerry. He usually gives, if there's been any changes in the rules, he'll give me an updated sheet, and I'll just go, you know, get the pole and all the stuff, and I'll build it myself, put it up. Mr. Jerry will inspect it, light folks hook it up. But the building, I kinda need y'all to tell me which way you wanna go, either buy one and fix the inside, or use one I got. The building's in good shape, it's got a good shingle roof on it. I mean, it's not new, but it's something that we can really work with and not have to spend that $3,000.
is it gonna cost us $3,000 to fix it?
The building, if you go buy a 10, we couldn't get an 8x8, the building I got is 8x8. We couldn't get 8x8, so we priced a 10x12 is what they had. It was like $3,200. Then you still got to do the inside. I mean, you still got to put insulation in it, air conditioner in it, so, I mean, what I got at the road department, I think it's a wise choice just to go with it. It's been,
I looked at it, and I mean, to me.
yeah, and I had Doug to come look at it. I mean, I think we just need to put some insulation, a little panel or plywood or whatever on the inside, stick air conditioner in it and carry it out there.
Well, let's use it.
Yeah,
Let's do
I
it.
said
That's
let's
what
use
I
it.
recommend, letting Andy pick the
Yeah, let's
thing.
do it.
Yeah.
Mr. Jimmy gonna have to help me that day, cause I'll probably need an escort carrying it out there.
let's
Cause I have to carry it on a big loader and it ain't gonna be fast. But, you know, I like the building and the service pole, and if we gonna add to that, if that's what y'all gonna agree to, you know, we gonna have to go get a few more posts and dig a bunch more holes, and we have to have a little more concrete, but I'll get it done. And we'll get it opened up.
We'll go ahead and tackle the building, then we'll go back to the fence out there at the road, trash dump. Y'all wanna let Andy go ahead and fix what he got, and
Yeah, I would say something to
Yes.
building, yeah.
we need a motion to let him go ahead and fix it.
I'll make it.
We have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
And we are gonna do the fence, cause I'm gonna put the fence up. We gonna do it the way, we gonna get together tomorrow and let them go mark what they gonna let us have. And we gonna put a gate in the back and put the fence up,
All right,
right?
getting back to the fence, I recommend, let's go ahead with what the city has handled this proposal. And let's go with that. Now, we need a motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion.
We got a second?
I second.
All in favor? Motion carried.
Gonna get on it and get the fence up then,
All
if
right.
y'all agree with it.
Get some dumpsters in there.
And I got my driver's license.
Yay,
Congratulations on the Class C.
congratulations. Yeah,
Good job.
good
I
job.
got my driver's license, so we good to go.
I was gonna say that, everybody congratulates.
Congratulations.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, I failed it the first time, so
It happens.
I went back the next day and I passed it the next day. Faye seen it when I gave her a copy to have for her insurance. She said, you could have smiled. I said, if they'd have took the picture after I took the test, I might would have been. But they take your picture before the test, so I really wasn't smiling too much then.
Okay, I got you covered, Andy?
Huh?
I got you covered. Mr. Jimmy, you got anything? All right, next on.
You gonna give me an escort when I move my
Go
bill?
ahead.
I'm gonna hand this out to you. Me and Mr. Jimmy, the sheriff, we went around there and, they had a big trial here, last week. And the judge was not happy with how the size of the courthouse is. And there's really nothing we can do unless we get a new courthouse. So me and Mr. Jimmy went over there and we met and we found out where we could take some rooms and move some rooms around. And I just got that listing down there. So we decided we were gonna move the early voting precinct to the regular precinct. Judge Suggs is gonna give us an old, judge's chambers, but we have to move some supplies to one room to the other. But in short, we're gonna have two big rooms for the prosecution witness and the defendant witness, so we've got it covered there. Not to say that we do need to find money to get this courthouse redone. That's one thing, but what I really wanna talk to you about was the new Board of Elections went down here and looked at this building, and I've got pictures of the roof. It's gonna need a new roof.
Wow.
The whole roof, it just needs a roof. And me and Mr. Allen had talked about going back with a metal roof to go ahead and cover that whole building. And probations, they're gonna move probations down here to the front CID office. So that's gonna free up, an extra space at the courthouse. So that's what I need y'all to do is just to go ahead and give me the authority to go ahead and look for bids for a metal roof.
Are these rooms right here being used right now? These the ones that are not being used?
No, they're being used. I mean, well, now only once a year or whenever they have an election. So that's why I'm saying we've got until what, Mr. Jimmy, was it March, you said?
March, yes.
So we do need to tackle this and get somebody in here to actually work on the roof and the ceilings and get, that little spot on page 1 is black mold and it just came up. So that has to be addressed real quick.
Yeah.
The rest of that stuff's kind of been there, but you can see where the tape's falling, but we just need to get a roof on there and then we need to get somebody to come in and actually repair those ceilings.
I recommend we give Doug the authority to go ahead and check into this, get prices and.
Bring y'all show this to the judge, is this gonna make the judge happy right here?
Well, is that gonna make the judge happy? Is that gonna make Judge Ernest happy?
What was the question?
With these changes, have you talked to judge, is this gonna appease the judge?
I talked to him a few minutes ago. He, what happened, they hadn't had any trials really since the hurricane, so there's been no jury trials for several years now. Well, we got 16 jury trials, it's on the calendar have now.
Wow.
We had one all last week, and one of them, we had like 14 witnesses in one little room that was about big as that table there. We just had chairs, and they was all sitting there shoulder to shoulder. There was 2 rooms in the courthouse that, what used to be the old judge's chambers down there, right, before they moved the judge's chambers to the other side. The elections had their elections computer in there. It's the only thing in there except some for files that the probate judge had. He said he needed to get to those, along, So we found 2 more rooms over there that had been offices, but they just stored old book records and all in there. So we, the clerk of court and the probate judge has said, a lot of those records, all we can take out and store in the pink building, that they never go into. So we can open up another couple of rooms in there. The judge wanted he wanted a room for defense witnesses, a room for prosecution witnesses, and then they got the law library in there. Well, what we had to do Thursday, because we had to put people in the law library, we had to go down and tote 300 something law books out of the law library, stack them out in the hall. So they still stacked in the hall out there right now, because there could not be a law book in there where these people were at.
This is all gonna make him happy though, you think?
I think
right now.
For now.
this right now, it'll show him that we make an effort to
Okay, all right.
to do what he wants done, yes, sir.
Alright. So we need a motion to do this, or?
To do the roof.
Yeah,
To do the roof.
look in the price of roof and stuff.
Yeah, let's do it, make a motion to look into
We
it.
have a second?
I said,
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, executive session, we don't have none. We need to adjourn. Who wants to make a motion to
Make a
adjourn?
motion to adjourn.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We adjourn.